All right, let's get straight into it. We've got half an hour.
You can lower your vocals a little bit. You're talking very loud. We'll fuck it up. I'm teaching you.
Really?
Yeah, you can lower your voice.
Okay. I'm just so excited to...
Yeah, but if you do that, then I'm either going to have to yell like that, or we both just lower it down a little bit. Trust me.
That's a good tip. That actually leads me right into my first question.
So we've started this podcast. I'm here with this guy, Mitch Pang. He's already started interviewing me, and I'm asking more questions, and he's asking me. So this will be fun. All right, check him out. It's a good tip.
Tony, doing a live Instagram as we get into it.
Go on, keep
which
talking.
is the first question.
I'm with you.
Multitasking, I love it. So
is it Mitch Ping?
Yeah, perfect.
Pang.
Ping pong.
Ping.
Yeah.
Not pang. Do you know that? If you do something and then you try and...
Yeah.
How do you now post... Oh, it's come back. It's all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
We're good.
Let's go. Sorry. Hello. Okay, question.
So the first question, which you've already done without... You've read my mind, is what makes a good interview? Because you've interviewed a lot of people, had a lot of experience. What makes a good interview?
Well, I always think that when I interview someone and I want it to be a great interview, is to ask them the questions they don't get asked all the time.
Okay.
So they get a little bit, I wouldn't say just out of their comfort zone, but they feel a little bit challenged and have to think about their answer rather than just, I've had this question a million times, here's the same answer I've given a million times. So I find that, and I think also letting the interviewer talk, like just, I guess, trying to tap into someone and then finding out something about them that nobody knew. And I think if you do that, you can have a fantastic interview experience, but the people watching are going to be, wow, I never knew that about, this guy or that guy or whoever. So I think that's always a good tip.
Okay, yeah. You have so many good stories there.
I've got a few.
Yeah. Okay. That's I'll keep that in mind. So from what I know about you, I'll just list off like a bunch of things, and here we go. So following your passion, dreaming massive, loving the process, not saying I'll be happy, not saying I'll be happy when, right? Staying humble, leading from the front, having an all or nothing mentality.
I think you've done your homework.
Yeah.
I just can't recite them off by that, but I've read some of my own shit. But no, that's very good. It's all true.
So, are you working on an autobiography at the moment, or are you?
Not really. I keep saying I'm going to write a book, but a biography or a book or something. So, I've got a working title, which is the same title I use for everything, which is Relentless Momentum.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, which is kind of like a life story thing of how I started and how I've been broke and how I've screwed things up and what I learned from that and how I've then been able to inspire others and follow my dreams and do some kind of bigger stuff. And then there's another one I'm working on, which is the working title is The Mindset of a Champion.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to work with so many elite athletes, business leaders, famous people, high achievers, and just extraordinary people who may not have achieved a lot but have had an extraordinary life. And I've been able to notice over many years that success leaves clues. So I've kind of been putting down the thought processes and what separates, this basketballer from the other 100,000 that want to be him, or this bodybuilder that makes it when nobody else does, or somebody, for example, Arnold, who got into movies against all odds when they said there's no way this can work out for you, and he used what they thought were his weaknesses as his strengths. And so I've managed to really kind of take notes. I'm not a big note taker, but I've got a fantastic memory. So I make mental notes with almost everyone I meet. And if they're an extraordinary person, I think, wow, the traits of this person, or what was the tipping point when you knew there was no turning back, and this kind of thing. So I'm trying to get all that down into a kind of book format. I'm trying to get this podcast going, my own podcast.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm going to tap into you a little later and just work out what platform you're using, that sort of thing. Because that's the only thing holding me back. I've got plenty to say and plenty of stories and plenty of titles. And I've got someone now managing most of my companies, different companies' social media. And she's also going to manage the launch and promotion, everything of the podcast. And I've got some great guests willing to come on. And kind of what I'm thinking with that is that I'll do a couple a week, and it'll be Relentless Momentum. And then the occasional one I'll throw in will be, the mindset of a champion. I'll throw someone in that you wouldn't expect me to interview. So it's not going to be all bodybuilders.
Like who?
Well, I can't tell you yet because I want to surprise people. But
like a small PT from Adelaide.
Maybe. No. It'll be well-known people, but it might be people from different walks of life.
Okay.
So it might be someone from the art world or the music world or the acting world or the sports world, obviously, but it might be a great coach. You know, someone who's coached AFL sides, or as in premiership sides, or it might be somebody that's just, you know, walked a tightrope, or someone that's just done something extraordinary. So I've got a vast network of people that I'm connected with, and not all of them are here in Melbourne, Australia, but, you know, with technology and everything else, I'm sure I can bring them into a kind of interview context. And I've actually had quite a few big name people have reached out and say, hey, when you get started, give me a call. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just sort of want to, I don't like to overpromise, Mitch, you know, I like to kind of underplay things and then blow people's minds.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Okay. Like you'll say, someone will ask, hey, when's this going to be ready? And you'll be like, oh, next week. And then you've already done it and you send it to them the next day and they're like, oh my God, that's amazing.
That kind of thing. But the reverse of that is like, one of my people was doing filmmaking for me, said, oh, I'm so excited to be producing Tony's podcast. It's going to be out soon, all this. And then I kind of had to back up. Yeah, I'm really excited about this podcast we're producing. And I hadn't fucking done it. And the problem with that is that then people have this expectation, whatever happened to that podcast? I wish we'd had to just shut up. And then at some stage said, hey, next week it's launching, or July 1st or whatever it is. So I've got a bit on this year with that kind of stuff. I'm going to take one thing I am doing is taking my public speaking tour back on the road this year.
Yeah.
It's called Relentless Momentum, but Relentless Momentum 2, because it's a different version than the first one. And I want to present that in a number of theatres across Australia, bring the price down, get more people in, and just, you know, spread some good in the world and show people some light, and perhaps, you know, people that are, you know, struggling to find their way, or have a really big dream that keeps getting shut down, or have, there's three things, here I go. There's three things that stop people from achieving greatness.
Get your notebooks out.
Three things that stop people from achieving greatness, butting in. No, three things. Three things that stop people from achieving greatness is fear of failure, worrying about what people think. Well, in order: fear of failure, self-doubt, and worrying about what people think. So fear of failure, think about it. Everybody's got a fear of failure, but sometimes it can be so overwhelming. You go, you know what, I don't want to take that jump because what if I fail? Ooh. You know, and then you overthink it and you just don't do it. And then self-doubt, you know, going, oh, why would I be the person that could run an Arnold Classic or have Australia's first 24-hour gym or do this expo or travel or do... So everything that I'm doing now, everybody said was impossible. You want to open Australia's first 24-hour gym, everybody said, well, who's going to go? You know, how can that possibly work? I threw the keys, actually, that was in the city, but it was 10 years ago, but 21 years ago, here I threw the keys across the road into the car park because there was no plan B. And the third thing that stops people from achieving is worrying about what people think. And you stop and think about that. What will mum think? What will dad think? What will my big sister think? What will my auntie think? What will somebody think if I take that job or travel to another country or do this course or get a tattoo or ride a motorcycle, whatever your passion is. So many people just don't fucking do it because they're worried about, oh, but what if someone doesn't approve? Well, not everyone's going to approve of anything. So life's short, do it.
And that's so do you think you're extraordinary? You're talking about extraordinary people and what's made, like, what are the clues that you've picked up that you've put into your life? Do you think you're extraordinary?
That's not for me to answer, you know, that's for other people, because, you know, my opinion of me is just really, it's got nothing to do with anyone. So I don't know. You'd have to ask yourself because you're on the outside. Look, I think I have an extraordinary and amazing life, but I also know that I created it.
Yeah.
So I guess what I get to do is not the average shit.
Yeah.
You know, I've had 5 overseas trips already this year and it's only May. And I've been to some of the most incredible places in the world, and I'm forever grateful for what I've done. But I think people, you know, I kind of don't like it when people say, oh, you got lucky. You know, everything fell in your lap. I'm like, dude, you got no idea. I never got lucky in my life. But I persevered, and I was able just to outwork everyone, outlast people, and put myself in a position to win. And I think, you know, there's a saying that opportunity knocks once only. Well, I think it knocks all the time. But if you're not ready for that opportunity, so if you have a big dream, right? I'm going to ask you yours. But let's say you have a big dream and you want to achieve it, and the going gets tough. Most people give up. So therefore, if you just outlast most people that give up, you're already, you know, way ahead of the game. And most people just can't go through the process of failing a few times and getting back up and so on. Sometimes that's all it really takes. You know, but to think somebody just got lucky, no, man. You got to be ready when your opportunity comes. And by ready, I mean, so for example, when I did the Arnold Sports Festival, I said, oh, how did you get to be involved with Arnold? How did his partners call you, and why you? I said, well, I put myself in that position because when I knew he was going to go global, I started Australia's fitness expo called FitX, which became Australia's most successful sport and fitness expo out of nothing. Man, I couldn't even afford the rent for the Melbourne Convention Centre. So when I put the first deposit, and I was like, you know, I think I sold a watch or a piece of gym equipment or borrowed the money or whatever just to put the deposit down. They go,
all or nothing.
You know, when are you going to put your next deposit? No. The big question is, where's it going to come from? And I had to go out and start selling space that day to be able to afford the next deposit and so on. So it was like, you know, 200 days straight or something I worked on that without a minute off because I was obsessed. And because I knew that when Arnold looked at Australia, I wanted to be his only choice. So he got lucky, you know. I didn't get lucky. I planned it as best I could. And if it hadn't have come off, okay, what have you lost? You start with nothing, you end up with nothing. What have you lost? Nothing. So I always say just take a chance. Risk something that matters and it might turn out okay. But if you don't, it won't turn out at all.
Okay.
It's that simple, man.
What are the smallest little clues that you've picked up, little habits that you're like making your bed in the morning, or I don't know, reading
That's
for
one.
10
I'm
minutes
really big
a
on
day,
that. Always just
something
make
really
your bed
small.
in the morning, man. No, not about reading because you got to feel it. You know, like also, you need to read more. Or what book are you reading? Oh, I'm not. I'm watching Netflix right now because that's just what I need. You know.
Are you watching Netflix?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Oh man, I like everything. I actually get excited about TV. People say, "Oh, you need to watch less TV." Well, if you're sitting on your ass all day and you're overweight, watch less TV. But I work sometimes 14 to 16, sometimes 18 hours a day. And I find that if I don't watch some TV before bed, I'm sitting there doing messages because it's daytime summer in the world where I've got some business going on. So I'll be answering that, or I'll be doing my Instagram questions, or I'll be, because I have a fairly high use on social media. You follow it. And I try and answer, I do answer every single direct message that I get. Every single question I get, I try to answer the best I can. Unless it's something inappropriate or something not so well thought out, or well, no, it's more that if someone's taking a cheap shot or they're just, you know, got nothing positive to add, I don't always answer, but I answer every well-intentioned question I get. And I can sit there and do that all night. You know, I get up to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, I check my emails. Oh shit, someone just came through from America or Brazil. You know, I better answer it. So it's kind of hectic. So I find that for me, having an hour before bed, roughly an hour, and put limits on things, just to chill out and zone out. And Netflix is great for this. And the other thing is I do an hour on the treadmill every morning. Well, sometimes I do it outside. I don't need anything. I just got something I like music.
Not right now.
But no, sometimes I do. Just
in the rain,
I just don't think about it, man. I get in, I go, what do I feel like now? And I get in the moment.
Okay.
Lately it's been more treadmill, but last winter it was all outside. I don't know. There's no pattern. As long as I do that.
Okay.
To me, it's like, you've got to do that work. It doesn't matter how you do it. So at the moment, I watch some Netflix in the morning. So I'll do my questions.
What did you watch this morning?
Versace.
Okay, what's that about?
It's called Versace. It's about the killing of Gianni Versace, but it's not about his murder. It's about the crazy guy that killed him. So this guy was a serial killer. And he left this trail of destruction across the US. So the whole series is really about him and how crazy he was and how they caught him. So I love crime stuff. I always love crime stuff. I watched a movie on a plane the other day called Black Mass, which I loved, and that's on Netflix. So I watch it with my son tonight.
Gangsters or something.
Gangster shit. I love all that. Always have. You know, Goodfellas and all that, and what was the other series? Oh man, I think I've watched all the big ones. I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Only watch up to season 7 and don't watch more. I was talking about it with Simone before.
No, I don't watch it. It's just on my thing. But there's been a lot of really good series on Netflix. You know, The Killing. What was that other one? The Sinner. I really liked that. It was like 2 years ago.
Stranger Things, have you seen that? That's more sci-fi.
I'm not into sci-fi. I'm not into imagination. Like, for example, I've never read a novel about someone's made-up imagination story. I just don't care. You know, so if I read, it's always going to be a biography or an explanation or science, or lately I've been reading like psychology stuff, and just because I want to learn. But you can get all this on your phone. So what I've started doing is reading less books and buying them on iBooks. Or what's that other
Kindle.
one called? Kindle, that sort of thing, and just reading them, especially when I'm stuck on planes and airports. I find that because I travel so much, it's a lot easier than carrying books because they're kind of heavy and so take up all your space. Now, Stranger Things was okay because my friend Kai's in it, so I wanted to watch that because I knew him and one of the other actors. But the other ones I kind of like is I just watched this crazy one. What was it called? It was like 7 seasons. Shameless. It's like a comedy American. It's about this drunk, dysfunctional family, and I find that just lighthearted and kind of
helps you switch off.
Yeah, man, just whatever. So, you name it, throw some at me and I'll tell you if I've watched it, but I've watched a lot of Netflix series. I really
I'll get everyone to DM you on Instagram and ask for a review on something.
You know what? Yeah, airlines and Netflix I could do pretty good reviews on. You know, look, I love other stuff. I love going to a restaurant, you know, eating out.
Okay.
Living, man.
Yeah.
I love to have a drink. I like good wine.
Yeah.
I like to smoke a cigar. You know, I'm not perfect and we're all a little flawed, so you just got to go with it.
Okay.
You know, as long as it's not hurting anyone. Next question.
Do you have blue light blocking glasses at night?
What's that?
Have you heard of those?
Never heard of it.
So it takes some of the blue light out of the screen so you can fall asleep easier.
I mean, I fall asleep so easy.
I thought you would.
I don't have.
I thought you would.
Unless I'm overthinking or I've got a project on it. Sometimes when you're obsessed with something, you can't sleep. And there's sleeping tablets, blue glasses, nothing helps. But for the most part, I sleep pretty well. In fact, I only need about 5 hours a night and sometimes 6 if I'm tired. And then during the day, if I get tired and I'm working away on the computer, I can literally lie on the floor. I can lie upstairs with the team up there. I can take my shoes off, put them behind my head just so it's up a little bit, and I can just go out cold. Never longer than 10 or 15 minutes, and I wake up as fresh as a daisy. I've been doing it pretty much all my life. So,
wow.
Yeah, don't have a problem sleeping. As I said, I could probably just go to sleep now if I willed myself to. So,
okay. Yeah, wow. So how do you balance work and life? I mean, like work is your life, right? But how do you switch off? It's a part of my life, man. Yeah. How do you that just an hour at night and just kind of help you?
I don't think you ever switch off, particularly when you're promoting a big event. You know, you can't switch off. You know, it's like when I'm really, really busy leading up to the big events and stuff, I'll have a notepad next to my bed or I have my phone on. More than a notepad now, I just go to notes and I'll just I'll just add to it. So, because, you know, the biggest fear is that you think of something really cool and then forget to do it.
Yeah.
So I always just try and jot it down and I check that each day. So I utilise technology a lot. But balance, back to balance. Balance is a funny word because, you know, I've got a lot of aspects to my life, you know, with the different businesses, with my kids, with me just having a life, with the travel, with the, you know, your relationships and your friendships and, you know, your hobbies and your sports and the things you like to do. You've got to have more balance. Well, sometimes you can't. And when you speak to most people that are obsessed or successful with what they're doing, they're able to kind of park stuff and just be full on with what they're doing. And I guess bare minimum, just enough to keep everything else alive. And then, you know, you're back to it. And it's like a plant. You don't let it completely die. You just put a bit of water on it and some spare water. But, you know, I'm always mindful that, for example, when I'm really full on, that I don't spend enough quality time with my kids or I don't get to do, you know, regular dad stuff and I'm separated, so I don't live with them anyway. So I'm kind of mindful of that. But then I think, then they get to do the more cool things than any other kids can dream of. Yeah. When I'm really on. You know, and I let them travel with me and take them on road trips and, you know, we eat out some extraordinary places and some shit places because I want to really ground them.
Yeah, like your Instagram post this morning.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it was what that was for anyone who hadn't seen it was that I've just taken my 3 girls to South Africa with me to the Arnold Sports Festival. And obviously, when I'm travelling with Arnold, we stay in 5-star places, this and that. And we finish the event and we're going to go up to Sun City, which is an amazing palatial resort in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the plains that backs onto Pilanesberg National Park, and I knew they're going to go and see, you know, the lions and zebras, and giraffes and rhinos and all that stuff. So I thought, you know, it can't be all about that because what are they going to learn if they just think everything's 5-star and room service and
they're like, Africa's great.
Dad getting free shit. Yeah, so I took them. I hired a driver and a little bus, and I took them into Soweto, which is where Nelson Mandela grew up.
Wow.
In fact, it's the only street in the world that had 2 Nobel Prize winners, Cardinal Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela, who was the president eventually. And they've got a museum there. And there's a picture in Soweto of a little boy getting carried out of the riots. And he's actually dead. He was shot in the face, I think by a cop in 1976, correct me if I'm wrong, at the riots. And they named a museum after him. Peterson, what was his name? Anyway, it's on the Instagram. And and I took my kids into the museum and there's some really confronting pictures in there. You can't take pictures of the pictures, only the one on the street, which is a famous image. And there's horrendous pictures and reality in there. And then, you know, they went outside and we just actually sat in the gutter and took that picture. So just sit down in the gutter with everyone else. There's no chairs and tables here. And there's people just eating on the streets and street vendors and all that sort of thing. But in a kind of dangerous part of the world. obviously I wouldn't put them at risk, but at the same time, the world can be a nasty place, and I don't want them just to think and to grow up with a sense of entitlement, because I think that's what's wrong with most of the world right now. So that was, I'm glad you saw that, but it was a great experience. So back to it, I guess my kids get to do stuff that other kids don't get to do. So I think that's your balance.
Yeah.
And it's like in business. So, how do you compare your gym to other gyms? Well, I don't. I have a point of difference, which I really believe in. I know what my brand is. I'm very uncompromising when it comes to what my brand is, and I stick with it because it works for me. Oh, but don't you think? And I hate it when people say, "Don't you think?" I'm like,
get a creation.
Okay. Oh. So you want to tell me what you think, and then disguise it as I'm flawed because I don't think it. But do go on, because I'm a little bit of an analyst of conversation and psychology. So when someone preempts something by trying to put words in my mouth, I'm like, I know what you're up to, Mitch. No, he didn't do that. But you've got to be careful of that, particularly interviewing. So, and I've done a lot of interviews where people do that, and I call them out on it. So, well, hang on, now you're telling me what I think. Why don't you ask me a question? So
yeah, that's what you're here to do. I'm here to ask you.
Not say, don't you think that? Well, that's not a question. That's you telling me how I should fucking think. So back to it. There was. I think there's just a sense of entitlement out there, and where was I going with that?
Balance and
balance,
entitlement,
and the balance I'm saying with my brand. No, back to the brand. As with my brand with the gyms, for example, people say, don't you think you should have classes, or don't you think you should not open on weekends or nights or whatever? And I do what I do. I think, worry about what you think, but I don't ever compare my brand to anything else. I don't look at another fitness expo or another gym and say, I've got to be reactive because this guy just put in a spinning class, for example. I don't care. I don't do that unless I think it's something good for business. And I always just try and be kind of the lead guy, not the sheep.
Okay, yeah.
So I've never really been a follower, but if I go to a fitness expo, for example, in Germany or in Las Vegas or any of our Arnolds around the world, I'll be taking notes the whole time. When I see someone do something really well, I'm like, wow, why didn't we think of that? That's a great system.
Yeah.
But we never react to try and be like anybody else, because that's where you always fail.
Being proactive, not reactive.
Correct.
Being on the offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
So how do you, when you're grinding, about 20 minutes, when you know to put your head down and just work for like years and years and years, compared to right now, okay, yeah, I can afford to have 1 hour at night to chill out, and I can go and hang out.
You know
with
what?
my
You
family.
don't think about shit like that, man. When you're in the moment, that's the last thing you think about. You just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I always say it's just like you do what you have to do, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. So that's what I do, man. I just do whatever it takes, and if that affords me to have some time off, or my body or my brain goes, just stop for a minute, then I just stop for a minute. But I don't go in the morning. Okay, when I get home tonight, I'm going to have a little Tony time. No, man, it just happens. One thing life's taught me, particularly the last 5 years, because I've been through a lot of stuff, is to live in the moment. Like I'm probably more in the moment than most people will ever be. Like I really, really am. In fact, someone messaged me yesterday, goes, I've got this project on, what are you doing in August? I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, man. I don't know what I'm doing in June, and that starts tomorrow. So I kind of, as much as you can have all the plans in the world, a lot of shit can go wrong, and you can't change what happened yesterday. You can't really predict what's going to happen tomorrow. But what you can do is make today count. So I always just kind of have this thing that, I sit up in the morning and I always sort of try and think of 3 or 4 or 5 things that I'm grateful for. It's a good way to start the day. Sounds a little deep, but I really do.
Do you meditate?
That's my meditation. My meditation is walking on a treadmill, lifting heavy weights. And when I really need to meditate, I've got some motorcycles. Okay. So I've got a chopper out, on a really hardcore, rigid chopper that hurts like hell. And to me, that's my meditation. I'll get out in the highway and just bang, and you're in the moment.
Yeah.
Like meditation is in the moment. And all you think about is what in front of you and not getting hit. So you're not thinking about, tomorrow I've got to do this, and why didn't I write that down? I find when I'm working out can be a bit distracting, obviously, because it's my gym, but if I go out and have a walk, if I go ride on a chopper or whatever, that's kind of my meditation. So I don't do traditional meditation, but I think I meditate.
Okay.
Without ever, once again, I don't kind of put a label on things and plan things, but so I don't get up in the morning and kind of plan that. I'm just like, I get home and go, phew, what a day. I might open a bottle of wine. Okay, then I do.
Yeah.
I don't go all the way home. When I get home, I'm going to, I don't plan that far ahead. And as much as, I have a great PA who runs my schedule, and if someone wants to book in for a podcast or an interview next month, or I've got some public speaking for some corporates coming up, yeah, sure, I'll book that in, and I know which trips I have to do each year. But apart from that, man, I just try not to think too far ahead.
Okay. I love how you say that, because it's all about, it aligns with your values of enjoying the process. Like when you're sleeping in your own gym, going out the back in the morning and be like, oh yeah, hey guys, came from my imaginary home, like let's go into the gym. You weren't thinking of, oh, in 10 years I'm going to be so good, I'm not going to sleep on the floor in the gym, because you still do that sometimes. You enjoyed it. You didn't sleep on the floor of the gym and you wanted, oh boo-hoo, I sleep on the floor.
No, it was back then. It was the same. It was whatever it takes. This is what I have to do right now, so I might as well enjoy it and be happy about the process, because I know I'll get out of here. I know this is going to last forever, but I'd never focus on, in 1 month and 1 day and 1 week or whatever, I've got to have a home. It was just like, the first time I moved out of this house, came up, it was across the road from the gym, it was $90 a week. I'm going, I reckon we could make that work. Boom. And didn't even have any furniture when we moved in. So it was, you just go through shit in life, and I think I've said it before on my stuff that you obviously follow, which I appreciate, is attitude determines outcome. And if you've got a shitty attitude and you talk about the weather and you talk about poor me and poor this and poor so-and-so, then you're never going to achieve anything.
Yeah.
I think if you've got a positive attitude, I always say, people say, why do you do what you do, with your Instagram, for example, or your public speaking? It's obviously not money driven, because I give it all away for free.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
Because I want to be the unreasonable, infectious light in people's lives. So when people have a bit of self-doubt, they say, what would TD say to me? And I always got a positive message. I can always try and find good in just about any situation. And I always try and remind people, hey, you think you're having a bad day? That's better than somebody's best day.
Yeah.
And travel's been a wonderful teacher for me.
Yeah.
I've been deep into the slums in India, in Mumbai, where, I was with a tour guide once. He said, I've showed you all these temples and, oh God, all this shit. And I love history and I love architecture, but enough's enough. He says, is there anything else you'd like to see? I said, if it's not condescending, hurtful, or anything like that to anyone, I'd love to go deep into the inside of a slum, not just the edge. I want to go in. And he said, oh, my friend's got a very good slum just around the corner. He took me, and there was like over 1 million people living in this small block, basically, in little tin shanties, and kids playing with balls they'd made out of tape, and stick for a cricket bat, nothing else, no phones, no PlayStations, no nothing. And I just hung out there, man, and I shopped at their little shops and ate there, and had a wonderful day, and saw, when I was able to look deeply at the situation I put myself in, some of the happiest people I'd ever saw.
Yeah.
Because they were in the moment. They were providing for their families, whatever that meant. And they had a community spirit where I'm sure they shared whatever they had, and it was something you don't see here. And I've been into the favelas in Brazil, and I've been into the townships in South Africa, and I've been out in the horrible parts of China, where you don't get to breathe any fresh air. Maybe 1 day a month you see the sky because the pollution and smog's so bad. And I've been in northern India, where, once again, pollution's horrendous, and people have just got to, eat dirt every day just to get by.
Wow.
So this has given me a great appreciation of how good life is here.
It's so, oh my God, yeah.
People come and say, how you doing? Oh, not bad.
Oh, I hate that so much.
I'm like, yeah, well, I try not to hate it, but I don't want to get sucked into it. I'm like, so I guess what I've learned to do the last few years is how to avoid oxygen thieves and avoid negativity. And if someone needs help, or for example, a young bloke like you reaches out, say, hey, I'm doing this podcast, haven't really got any, how many followers you got? Not many. You're honest. You go, not many, but I want to build it up. And I'm like, you know what? Somebody gave me a chance like that once. You know what? So that's why I always try to say yes. I try to be the yes person, not just the no person. Obviously, I'm time poor. That's why I said, hey, dude, you got half an hour. I think I've got to pick up my kids from school, but we've got 5 more minutes. But
yeah,
it's all those sort of things, Mitch, that really count. It's being able to give back to people, to be that unreasonable light for someone who might just need it. I always say to people, you don't know. Just by giving someone encouragement. This, I think, is something the gym's taught me, and you'll find it too. Don't worry about, that's not my client, or he's not paying me. Dude's doing his curls wrong. Go help him. You know what? And it might be someone's doing it hard. And I don't mean someone comes and goes, oh, not bad. I mean someone you see is a bit depressed or really flat or down on themselves, or they've lost their confidence, or they've lost their spark. You don't know how much it would mean to another person. Go up and give them a pat on the back. Say, hey, Tiger, keep at it, you're doing a great job, or you look fantastic. It doesn't... it costs nothing just to be a good human.
Being nice costs
Well,
nothing.
yeah, it's not smarmy nice. So you get a lot of that in America. Have a nice day. How are you, sir? You look fantastic. And it's shit. It's just like you got that. It's like a script. Have a nice day. And some people really mean it, but for the nothing against people that say that. It's great, but I'm talking about being able to read the temperature in a room where you see someone sad or down or lonely or just lost their way, man. And everyone makes mistakes. Everyone screws up, and people do some terrible things, but don't set out to be fuck ups. It's how life works out for them. And sometimes you don't know what it means to someone just to be that person who just goes, hey, you know what? Everything's going to be okay. I said that to someone the other day. They were grieving. They'd been through a lot, and I said, you're stronger than you know.
Yeah.
I said, this will test you, but believe me, you'll come through it and you'll be fine.
You'll be stronger.
And you'll be a bigger and a better person for it. And this will pass. Even though right now you can't see any light or tomorrow. And I checked up on that person and checked up and, they get better. So I think that's something really important thing that you don't learn at school or,
people skills. Be in the moment, stay positive.
Yeah.
One last questions. Back to the entitlement.
Hang on, you said one last questions.
One
That's
last question.
Plural.
One last question.
Okay, I'm just checking. That might be loaded.
Back to the entitlement thing. What do you think of birthdays? Do you like your birthday? Is that a weird question?
I don't think about shit like that, man.
It's whatever. It's another day.
Well, it's a birthday.
Yeah.
If I feel like celebrating, as I said, I live in the moment.
Yeah.
So if I get up and I feel joyous and celebratory, then that's what I do. But if I don't, I don't. I don't put any pressure on myself to live up to anyone else's expectations, Some people love birthdays, some don't. If someone doesn't like the birthday, I've got some friends and family who just, they actually messes with them when they have a birthday.
Right.
I'm not that person at all.
Yeah.
But I think birthdays is a time where birthdays, New Year's, you kind of tend to reflect a little bit. And as you get older, kind of sucks because you go, it's going faster. I'd love to slow it down.
Yeah.
I wish I was your age again, But you can't change it. So why even think about it or bother about it or even talk about it? So, what do I think of birthday? I don't think about birthday. But if I can make someone else happy by giving them a hug or a happy birthday or sending them a message, like if I see anyone's birthday pop up on Facebook or something and I know that person, I shoot them a message.
Yeah.
Or if they know they're a bit of a fan or they've sent me a message, even if I don't know them, I always make the effort I always say, hey dude, or hey girl, hope you have a fantastic day and the best year of your life.
Yeah.
Because that might just spark someone to go, best year of my life. Never thought of that. I'm like, because it only gets better. And so there's a lot of stuff I don't think about that people ask me. I get on my questions like, what do you think about this? I go,
you're like, I never really thought about
that. I don't. I think about what I've got to do next.
Okay.
What I've got to do now. What's up? Any more? You can have one more if you want.
That's 32 minutes.
That's all right. We've got 3 minutes. You got any more questions?
Yeah, your seminars. So I've started doing seminars at the gym to try and upskill my clients. Advice, tips, tricks, keep going, do more, do less.
I don't know because I haven't seen you present. I haven't done what your subject matter is. I don't know who the people you're talking to, and they're the things that matter.
Okay.
So for me, I've got a when I started doing my Relentless seminars, I had a product that I thought people wanted to know about.
Yeah.
So I went out and did a test one. It sold out, and I got these rave reviews, and people lined up, and I did another one, and it was sold out again, and so on. So I knew that. But how that came about is I had people asking me, "Can you be my mentor?" All the time online, I get a message. Do you do mentoring, like one-on-one mentoring? And I'm like, I'd love to because I love helping people, but I ain't got time. And if I did give you the time, I'd have to charge like an exorbitant amount, which go back a step. So I was doing personal training for years before anyone even knew what personal training was. I had a TV show called Muscle TV where it was an education thing, teach people how to train properly, where we gave a lot of knowledge and skill to trainers, because I'd see trainers not even know how to do a squat properly. And I'm talking about the postural stuff, chin up, chest out, shoulders back, where your elbows should be, all this stuff which I'm mechanically really good with. And I worked at the Carlton Footy Club for 5 years as a weights coach. I did a lot of high-end human performance stuff and worked around some of the best coaches in the world. So I had a great knowledge base for that. So I was doing PTs, I was charging like $50 an hour, then $100 an hour, then I'm like, shit, I'm getting busier. Maybe if I put my price up, I could spend less time and get the same return. So I put it up to $200 and it kept coming. Then $250, then $300. I'm like, shit, stop.
What did you do with your old clients that were...
I never really had old clients. I'd work more on one-on-ones, or I'd get a lot of trainers, like guys like yourself who become personal trainers would say, hey, I want to have someone like you put me through a workout and check all my form. So it was a lot of corrective stuff. I wasn't really looking for clients. I was training some elite people for competitions, whether it be I was training fighters for professional fights. I was training, as in not just the gloves and pads, but the power and the speed and the agility and the recovery and that stuff. Training a lot of the AFL guys one-on-one and at the club. And, you know, a few really elite athletes. And not so much the sort of 3 times a week I want to lose 20 pounds. I'd be like, no, go see him, he's really good at that.
Okay.
Or I'd give out my eating plans for free because it's all about food.
Yep.
Anyway, I was going out with that, so I kept putting my price up. I got up to where it's $500. Oh, good, no one's going to come. Then I had, it was like, guys would say to their wife or girlfriend or fiance, oh, birthday's come up, Christmas come up, I'd love to have a session with Tony. And they'd buy him like a voucher.
Oh my God.
And then they'd all cash them in. I'm like, shit, here I am again. And this is crazy money. Who would have thought of that? Then one day I thought, you know, I'm only getting to this stage where I'm only doing this for the money. And it's not that I haven't got the passion. I don't have the time. And even at $500 now, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Not that I'm earning thousands, but if I don't do what I have to do, you know, the doors ain't going to stay open. The expo won't work. You know, I won't get my shit together with the Arnold stuff or the coaching stuff or my talking stuff. So was that? So how the Relentless Momentum talk started was a little bit like that. They had all these people wanting one-on-one mentoring. And I'd learned from the personal training, I ain't got time. Even at a stupid $500 an hour, and if I wanted to mentor people, I'd have to charge $500 an hour. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to give me any satisfaction. I'm going to be rushing them and looking at the clock, and that's not fair. So I'll do these seminars and cap it at like 40, 50 people, and I'll go all out. I'll give them everything I've got. I'll break down in front of them. I will tell them my life story, warts and all, in a really intimate sort of thing. So I'll do 1 hour of that, starting out, you know, just a chubby kid with a poor self-image and a big dream. And right through to, you know, walking on the grid at the Formula One with the governor and you know, politicians and meeting people I only dreamed of.
FaceTiming Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, crazy. It was not just Arnold, but you know, all this stuff, you know, emceeing huge shows or, you know, being on telly or whatever. So I and you have little moments where you go, wow, did that really just happen? You know? Anyway, so I tell this story, no holds barred, I really rip into it. Then the next hour I do like the 10 points of success. I call it the 10 things that I've learned that you can't get, things I've learned on the street that you can't get out of a book, from university or off Google.
Yeah.
So stuff like, you know, some of it's being kind, some of it's worrying about what you can do, not what you can't do, and putting that into relative stories in case. So it's like a storyteller session. So I tell a bit funny, I tell some jokes, make everyone laugh, make everyone cry sometimes.
Okay.
Give them a sense of mortality and realise that, hey, you're going to die. So when you get to the end of your time, how do you want to see yourself? Do you want to die with regret, or do you want to say, wow, what a life, I couldn't pack any more into that? And that's a real choice everyone has to make.
Definitely.
And that's when you're going to know whether you really pulled the trigger or not. So I go through all this stuff. So I don't know where this all came from, but this is how all this stuff just came out, and I just said, oh, I'll just do it again and do it again and do it. There's so many times that now I've got to come up with a new format. And then the last hour is Q&A, and it's like, lights down, I'm exposed, you're exposed, ask me anything. And off we go. And you know, it can be a very emotion-charged learning session, not just for my clients, but for me as well. And what I didn't know I'd get out of all of this stuff I do online and this stuff I'm doing with you and these talks is how much I'd learned about myself and how much I'd learned about human behaviour and how much I'd learned about performance. And it really has, because guys like yourself and a lot of other interviewers I've been on with will ask me some really challenging questions, and I always answer them. Therefore, I've got to dig deep to find those answers. And I find stuff that's been suppressed or put back in here that I never would have found without making myself uncomfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to get uncomfortable to go through
that. Being in the uncomfortable.
Yeah. So I've kind of got good at that.
Yeah.
So, man, that's about it for today.
Thank you so much,
meet
Tony.
you, Mitch, and all the best with the podcast. I hope lots of people watch. And
they will.
You know, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you send me the link, was this what go on iTunes?
Yeah.
So when we get the link, send it to me, and I'll put it up on my channel and see how many people can get to watch.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little selfie so that when all this happens, we can I can give you a little plug, because that's selfish actually. I just want people to listen to my story. So there you go, Mitch. We'll do a couple. There you go. We'll do thumbs up. Good, man. All right, done.
Thanks so much, brother.
Sweet, man. No problem at all.